So, Patrick, a lot is changing under the Trump administration. We have the situation with the EB5. Now the gold card is coming, and it seems like there'll be some further changes in the investor migration and maybe even top talent, right? So one of the things that, keeps coming back up is this backlog, the green card backlog that we're talking about, especially for people who were born in India or China at the EB2 category. The backlog is immense. People are waiting, what, officially 10, 12, 15 years, but
Some
as
experts
per
estimate,
you,
50 plus years.
50 plus
Maybe
years.
born in India, depending on the category.
Yeah. So I was talking to a prospect today who reached out to me through YouTube, and he basically asked a very interesting question. He basically said, Aladdin, what do you think about backlogs under the Trump administration? And I really thought that was a very speculative thing to, answer. So I kind of hesitated myself. But as I have you here, first of all, how do you see this backlog situation? Do you think it's going to continue as is under Trump administration?
I don't see any way it continues as is, and especially if Trump gets closer to Modi from India. There are a lot of Indians making 200 to a million plus working in tech, and some of them are multimillionaires with the closely held stock they own in these tech companies. So they're sending a lot of that money back to India, and there's an
Trump
incentive.
doesn't like that.
Well, he
doesn't want money go out.
Yeah, no, it's a tough situation, but I think depending on the relationship with Modi, the Indian government, and there's even talk, temporary solution doesn't really solve the green card backlog, but an E2 trade treaty with India, which would be wild. That would really open up a lot of business for us and help a lot of Indians move to the U.S. But there's a lot of things that Trump could do to make the backlog, be reduced. And, in terms of counting, who counts towards the green card? Is it just the one petitioner? Or is it also certain family members? There's the gold card, where he alluded to companies can purchase a gold card for their employees. Mm-hmm. So Apple, Google, these big tech companies could pay $5 million, and maybe it's portable. I give VJ this gold card, and he has it for a certain number of years, 5 years, and he gets U.S. citizenship, and I'm able to give the gold card to someone else.
Interesting.
That hasn't been clarified yet. So I think he has a plan. He has some pretty smart people around him. I think especially a lot more immigrants or first generation immigrants this time around with his VP, Vance's wife's Indian,
right?
First gen. So I think it's a problem. There's enough wealthy Indians that are pushing for some change and he has these immigrants and first gen immigrants. Some of them are of Chinese background, Indian background, that have relatives or they've firsthand experienced, issues in the past. So I'm pretty bullish that this backlog, and there will be some changes under Trump, especially with a Republican-controlled Congress.
So you sound, very, very positive. You actually are leaning towards, Trump reducing the backlog, right?
I think there will be a reduction in the backlog, and it makes sense for taxes coming in, and these are people that are paying a lot of taxes to the U.S. government, and you don't want to be losing
keep these
talent, AI talent, which is it's kind of like a war now where there's China and the U.S. What happens if these engineers go back to India? And now there's this AI company in India that's really leading the charge, and that's better than OpenAI and some of the other AI tech companies in the U.S. So it's something that he needs to solve to not lose this talent.
Yeah,
and the taxpayer base.
Definitely does make sense. And I do, in a weird way, I do agree with you. And I do expect Trump administration to sort of look at these backlogs and do something about it. Maybe increase the number of green cards, maybe increase the selection criteria one way or another. But I do believe that they're going to do something about it. But regardless, Patrick, there is another opportunity out there, which is, EB1A, right? So I guess this is, again, me, and it's a very personal opinion, but I don't see any other way than to sort of keep working on your profile and just, try to become a better version of yourself, to sort of try to qualify for, higher preference of employment-based green cards.
Yeah, I mean, you have so many Indians that are on H-1Bs. Their employer sponsored them for an EB2 category. And if they just ported and used this priority date for the EB1A category, it'd be current. And all in with, government fees, professional fees, the medical exam, lawyer fees, everything. We're talking about $20K allocated into this process where you could spend the next 12 months really improving your profile, and say you already make $250K, $300K, you show you're in the top 5%, 1%. That's one of the 10 criteria, and you have other criteria to hit. But if you're, an Indian making good money, you probably are in a pretty powerful position that you can also hit another criteria, the EB1A, and there's for top talent, there are ways to document that. And it's going to help you, that $20K, you should hopefully get a nice salary boost after you've proven to the world and you've really documented this in public. We've seen that happen with our clients, where they have gone through, they've judged competitions, their peers, they've written articles, they've been featured in the press, they've joined associations of like-minded entrepreneurs, other talented individuals. I think even if the odds right now are at 70%, it's a shot I would take if my family, especially my kids, are aging out and they're 19, 20, or going into college and worried about staying in the U.S.
There's a lot of sweat equity there too. There's there could be a monetary investment as well towards your personal brand to sort of like seek more recognition into the achievements, especially people who are from tech world. These people do amazing things. They could develop apps and processes and all that. But if people don't understand what it is, and if a recognition hasn't been sought, I mean, why not just go out there and just seek some recognition for what you were able to create?
And some of it can be done with support letters. So, maybe they have incredible goodwill internally, and they work at a top consulting firm, and they can go to some of the managing partners and get support letters, as well as direct clients or even end consumers showing that what they've worked on has really changed, being an original contribution. So there's a lot of ways that I think where there's a will, there's a way. And it falls on you if you're backlogged. And I'm bullish that Trump will make some positive changes that will help you, but also, try to help yourself.
Try to take the future of your immigration into your own hands.
Take the American dream into your own hands.
Yes, that's been our motto basically here at Visa Franchise. So if you guys are, thinking about maybe giving a shot to EB1A, maybe you think you're not ready now, and maybe 6 months, 9 months down the line, you could put in that sweat equity and in that effort. We could definitely guide you here at Visa Franchise. As most of you guys know, that we have in-house immigration attorneys who are acting as a legal counsel. We also bring third-party filing attorneys as well to give us a strategy and then file the case. But it really and truly is a journey between you and us to sort of venture into you becoming a better version of yourself and qualifying for EB1A. So if you guys are interested with this WhatsApp number, and also you can send us an email at
patrick@visafranchise.com.
I love that. patrick@visafranchise.com. We can take a look at your profile, and then, we'll take it from there.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Reach out.